Welcome back, welcome back. We at Motivation hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy. As a reminder, our current walk-in locations temporarily closed, but we are open online, taking orders and shipping them out daily. We sincerely thank you for the continued support. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Mike, and welcome to our Motivation USA Brief Unboxing, where you can buy anything, everything premium for your motorcycle. Today, we're going to be looking at the long-term review of the Ohlins steering damper. Here's what to expect when you receive your Ohlins steering damper bundle. You're gonna receive the Ohlins steering damper. It's gonna be encased in a hard plastic, very well put together. It's gonna include a fully color manual that has instructions on how to put it on and how to operate the actual unit. Coming from Ohlins, you have to expect the best. It's something that's being used by a lot of racers, and it's a very well-known product. You're also gonna receive some Ducabike parts that are CNC machine out of billet aluminum that is very well anodized, and as usual, they are shrink wrapped into the backing of the board. That way it stays nice and snug until you receive the packaging. What you get is what you pay for. Premium products, you're gonna receive premium packaging, and of course, us at Motivation USA is gonna get that out to you nice and safe, as expected. When it comes to installation, things could be a little bit tricky. In some cases, it is a very simple process for you to throw on the Ohlins steering damper on a motorcycle, on a sport bike, and it's pretty much easy going. In my case, in speaking in regards to my own personal experience, installing the Ohlins steering damper on a Ducati 939 SP is a bit of a hassle. It requires a nice amount of work, decent amount of time, and a lot of patience. If you've worked on a Ducati before, you know the bikes are very well put together, very clean. However, the way it's designed, going in depth into the bike to take it apart to install something, it requires a lot of work. As you can see here in some of the footage that I am providing, for me to get into the steering damper installation on my Ducati Hypermotard 939 SP required that I take off the fairings, the seat. Again, there's quite a bit of work that goes into it. If you're purchasing this from us at motivationusa.com and you're gonna install it on a Ducati Hypermotard 939 SP, it's a tedious process. My experience could vary greatly from other people. I've seen sport bikes where they're installing it on there. It's basically a 1, 2, 3 job. It's fairly straightforward. I would say take a look at the bike, get to know what you're doing, and understand the steps that it requires for you to do this installation. Again, I will state this on a Ducati Hypermotard. It was a nice amount of work, and it felt very frustrating to me only because of the step it required for me to do, just to do something so simple. The Ohlins steering damper is a safety device. You can definitely add that on to your insurance, letting them know that you have that added safety on your motorcycle. It's gonna prevent you from having speed wobbles or tank slappers. They're the same thing. Most people refer to them slightly different. It's basically giving you unwanted movement on your handlebars at certain speed. It's something I would highly recommend for anybody that's out there that are doing street riding or track riding. Most of us that are here are aware what steering dampers are, but for some of you that are new to the channel, or you're watching and you're kind of learning or getting a better understanding, it's basically a device that's added onto your bike. It's gonna prevent you from having unwanted handlebar shift at certain speed, or maybe you hit a pothole or the surface you're currently riding on currently changed and you might get a speed wobble or a tank slapper. Several people refer to it several different ways, but it's pretty much the same, and it could be a very scary situation at high speed, or you're accelerating out of a corner, instantly your bike go into a tank slapper. It could end up extremely bad for the rider and your bike. So the steering damper is on the bike, and it doesn't hinder any kind of motion as you're moving the handlebar back and forth. As the handlebars start moving at a rapid rate, the steering damper slows down. You have full control with the steering damper. You have a level on the side you could tweak, and it basically notches as you're turning it. It's part of the instruction it tells you. So that's loosely based on who's riding the bike and how you like the feel to be. So I highly recommend you go over the manual before you go out there and start using it. And again, I have to make mention about steering dampers. There's several you can actually get. The one that I have here that I'm unboxing, that I'm giving you the long-term review, it's a linear Ohlins steering damper. There is also a radial version. And lastly, there is an electronic steering damper that is controlled by your motorcycle's ECU based on your speed, on what's happening. But this one's more of a manual one. Some of the more current bikes have electronic steering damper that kind of handles everything behind. They have a brain of their own that allows the bike to control what's happening behind the scene. It's something that I highly recommend, and it could save you in really rough situations. If you want to refer to my last video where I unboxed the steering damper, you can do that there and see what's in the packaging. Another thing that the steering damper does, guys, that is really important in some of the cases that in preventing the bike in losing control or getting that speed wobble. Let's say if you're riding on a smooth surface and then you go into somewhere else that's a little bit more jagged, or they repaved the way, you can feel the bump, that could send you into a tank slapper. Another situation is if you have a bike that's really torquey, like the Hyper that I have behind me here. That's the nature of that bike. It accelerates hard. It has a lot of torque. As you crack the throttle open, the front of the bike tends to get very light. So if you land the front wheel harshly, you can go into a tank slapper. These are some of the scenarios that having the Ohlins steering damper on your bike is going to prevent you from having, and it's something that I truly recommend that's going to be worth it, and it's going to pay dividends in the long term. It only weighs 340 grams, so it's super lightweight. It's not gonna put any kind of weight on your bike. I know most of us out there like to do weight saving when it comes to motorcycles, right? It is used by a ton of racing teams, so it's a proven tech and it works right. And the brand Ohlins itself speaks for itself. Seeing it at Motor America, seeing it at MotoGP, you know it's a good product. The Ohlins steering damper also come as model specific or bike specific, and they also have a universal version that can be applied to multiple bikes. The one that's on the Hyper, it's a universal one. These are some of the pros about the Ohlins steering damper, guys, and there are tons more. And having a peace of mind is more enough to say that it's a pro, because knowing that you're not gonna come against that speed wobble that we tend to lose, 9 out of 10, you will lose. So a peace of mind is definitely a pro. I'm gonna nitpick a little bit here in terms of cons. Since this is an Ohlins steering damper bundle, you can clearly tell that the steering damper came from Ohlins, and then the components that is required to install onto the Hypermotard 939 SP came from Ducabike. It wasn't a unison package that was put together as a collaboration that you receive as one. It would have been great to see a unison packaging. I think that have a nicer impact or a better presentation. It's a no-brainer. I know there are some little gripes that I mentioned in here, but this is a must for any one of you out there that are riding your 600, your leader bikes, your on-road and off-road bikes, you're doing track days. Get the Ohlins steering damper ASAP. Highly recommended. Makes a huge difference. Very versatile. If your bike does not include it, you bought it at a period of time where it wasn't something that was standard on your bike, hit up the site motivationusa.com, grab one for your motorcycle. Either put it on yourself, do the research, put in the work, or hit up a dealer, have them put it on for you. Highly recommend. No question. As recommended, use your parts purchase to support the store that support your sport. Motivation USA gives back to the riding community with everything from safety seminar courses and worldwide racing sponsorships. For the most trusted parts and accessories, shop motivationusa.com. All links will be in the description down below. And remember, ride safe and ride often.